It's going to be Doug and Joe Unplugged, actually. We're going to let her hair down tomorrow night. No, she doesn't know that yet, but
no, it'll be a great show. And also Sunday night, we'll be joined by Greg Evenson and Steve Quill talking about, what's the title? We wrote up a thing about for the website, and I don't even remember the title.
Blueprint for Destruction: Lifting the Veil and Peering into Tyranny.
Yeah.
Look, with all this stuff going on,
the paramilitary unannounced drills, the paramilitary police forces we're seeing throughout every state.
Greg Evenson has got a pipeline of information, folks. If you don't mind, go to HomelandSecurityUS.com and grab a hold of that article with that. It's called Blueprint for Destruction: Lifting the Veil and Peering into Tyranny. Grab a hold of that article. If you have social networking, please spread that around your social networks. Like it on Facebook. The reason we ask you to do this is because we really think a lot of people need to hear what Greg and what Steve and Greg have. Greg's got some information that he's going to be breaking on Sunday.
Right, and this is about what's happening in real time. We covered yesterday the unannounced drills from Harrisburg to Miami to Los Angeles to Galveston, Texas to Houston, where helicopters were flying low, the U.S. Army doing mock assaults on United States soil, which is a whole mess of trouble right there. If we're still under the constitutional republic and the laws that state in there in our Constitution, which I don't think we are anymore. We've been overtaken by a criminal government that spawned through generations, and they have destroyed and subverted and illegally legislated their way into destroying the Constitution to where we now have an illusion of freedom, where the First Amendment grants us rights of freedom of speech. Well, we now have freedom of speech zones, little places we can go if we want to talk about what's on our mind. Freedom to practice religion without being infringed. Now we have an Obama administration saying we will still force Christians to act against their faith. The Department of Health and Human Services on Friday set the stage for a massive showdown between the federal government of the United States and the American Christians who believe the government has no right to force them to act against their faith by mandating that they buy, provide, or facilitate healthcare coverage. That includes sterilizations, contraceptions, or abortion-inducing drugs.
Well, no. Okay, so...
the HHS released a new proposed regulation under the Obamacare law that the department presented as an accommodation to religious organizations that object to providing sterilizations, contraceptions, and abortion-inducing drugs in their healthcare plans. However, the proposal does not truly expand exceedingly narrow religious exemptions presented in the initial regulation, which was finalized last year and continues to offer no exemption at all to Christian individuals or business owners. The HHS mandate announced today changes nothing. It's another accounting gimmick, and the HHS mandate continues to be a violation of civil rights, religious freedom, and First Amendment rights, said Maureen Ferguson, Senior Policy Advisor to the Catholic Association.
Our religious beliefs are under attack. As Christians, we are in the crosshairs of a Marxist regime. And I think back when this Marxist Islamo-Nazi president, these are my words now, in describing this person, Barack Hussein Obama, Barry Soetoro, describing his political affiliations as Islamo-Nazi political affiliations. I look back to George W. Bush. No one said a word back then. No Republican, no Democrat said a word about what was known back then. The fact that Obama is nothing more than, in the intelligence world, a cutout.
Yeah, and we need, this is something that I've been feeling a lot lately. We need to pray for Obama and all these people in government that they might be able to save their own souls individually, regardless of what they're doing, because as the Bible says, you love your enemy like you do your brother, and if you don't, you're as bad as a murderer. You're guilty, basically, of murder for hating your enemy. It says to love your enemies. And as hard as that is to swallow, and as long as that took for me to understand, that's the truth.
And I'm a work in progress on that, so don't expect me to. I mean, look, I understand that, but I'm a work in progress on that. I really am. I have a hard time praying for those people who are out to kill me, my family, to enslave my family, and enslave my children, my grandchildren for Lord knows how long. But so again, I'm a work in progress, and I have a hard time with that. But I do understand that we need that prayer. Boy, I'll tell you, I know that prayers work, and
it goes. I mean, the Bible states that if you love your brother and hate your enemy, you're not any better than a politician or a Pharisee. So, to give that some context.
Got the context.
All right. We're going to go to the phone.
All right.
We got people on hold, and we're going to go to area code 813 first. You're live on the Hagmann and Hagmann Report.
Why, hello, this is Cheryl. I can't stand the government. Harper, how are y'all?
Hi, Cheryl.
That's a long name, but...
Oh, yeah. Oh, Joe, how you doing, Joe? Oh, Joe and Doug, I tell you, man, I love you guys. But I got to know, Joe, did you find out and reserve our bunkers for us at the Denver airport? Did you find out about our bunkers?
Well, we know that they're there. We know that there are not only at the Denver airport, but all over the United States. The government has been in bunker building programs for the last 40 years, storing things from seeds, supplies, fuel.
And not only bunkers, but you know what, Joe? I was told by someone in that knows this area in Collar that from the Denver airport you can get to a lot of places under the ground very quickly.
And for those that for those that plan on going to those bunkers, that would be the last place I want to be. As I said earlier, it says in the word, look up, for your redemption draws near. These people, according to the word, will be hiding in the bunkers praying for death.
Oh, yeah, but Joe, I told you that the answer to the one in Denver airport, it was Isaiah 14:29. You told me you were going to check on that.
Oh,
and reserve our bunkers. You're supposed to get a bunker for me and Doug and you.
Well, you know what, we bid on one on eBay, and I'm not sure what the status of that was, but no, I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness, I just had to call in and give y'all a laugh.
Well,
I want to finish. Let you guys go. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys, and we all got to keep in the prayer. We got to stay in the prayer. It's always worked for our country.
That's very true. And we can't give up on our country, not just yet. I mean, at least not the Christian believing.
We can't give up on the people in this country.
People. Thank you. Yes, the Christian believing people. We must stick together.
It's true.
Yes.
God, a miracle in this country. All we need is a huge revival of sincere hearts that are sorry for their sins. But we have folks in government, as you can see in architecture, they're trying to connect with the gods. And, I mean, just like the Mayans did, of course they want to spill blood. Behind the scenes, they're plotting World War III while they throw everything else out at us, They're behind the scenes plotting and planning. And I pray for Israel.
Oh, we do as well, yes.
I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to continue listening. I just wanted to call in and check on our bunkers, Joe.
Well, you keep his feet to the fire.
Okay.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
And you were sick when she called in last, and she did lead me to a scripture in Isaiah that talked about, I think it was Isaiah 14, she said.
Right.
And I'll have to go back and look through that, and I did take notes on it. So.
Well, you failed in your homework assignment. You didn't complete it.
I did. See what happens when you're gone?
I know. I'm going to have to keep, Oh, well.
All right.
We and folks, I just want to say once again hello to the people listening in Dell's Diner in, I believe it's Warrensburg, Missouri, or at least somewhere around that area. Hello there, folks, and welcome to the Hagmann and Hagmann Report. Thanks for listening.
We're going to move on to another call. We're going to go to area code 267. You're live on the Hagmann and Hagmann Report.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Very well.
Good. Just a quick call. Just wanted to kind of just ask, just for, I don't know if you guys could possibly just, do something as far as setting something up on the website, as far as a search for like-minded individuals, because just listening to you guys for a while, and every time you get Steve on the line, it's like, it feels like family. Like, I could listen to the archives, like, all day. Like, I'm at work, like, just all day listening, but I really have it in my spirit. I'm like, man, if these guys could just, collaborate to just get some type of search engine or just something, because just the frustration of knowing what we know, being awake, whatever level we're awake at, is just frustrating. And just to be able to have maybe something that we could search out individuals in our area, it's just something that I was thinking about, and I know you hear a lot about it, but if there was any way that, because us regular people don't have the resources for that, or maybe not be as tech savvy, but if you guys could get something together, just as far as maybe a search engine, or just something to be able, because I'm going to feel like I'm the only one that feels this way around my area. Maybe if I could seek some like-minded individuals, it could kind of relieve some of the stress and maybe help the ministry grow a lot faster, and because we don't have too much time,
No, I agree. And just to let you know, at our website, HomelandSecurityUS.com, there is a tab called Hagmann and Hagmann Recent Broadcast, and you just put your mouse over that, and it will show you 2013 archive or the previous show archive. Also, if you have iTunes or any podcast applications, on the Blog Talk Radio, our main page on Blog Talk Radio, you can sign up and get the iTunes URL to download it on iTunes or any podcast app. Also the RSS feed, but
right. But I think I think the caller knows that. But caller, and I'm going to while you're on the line here, I'm going to say this: probably the most intelligent individual I know that could possibly set something like this up. And I'm not sure how. We've been struggling with how to do this, because I got to tell you, the first time and I know this because it's happened to us in the past, but the first time we come out and say, well, if you're in such and such an area, send us an email and we'll try to hook you up with others, we'll get accused of harvesting emails for nefarious purposes. Now, now that said, and hopefully one of the smartest people I know, aside from Kiko from Canada Free Press, is Brian from Canada Free Press. Perhaps, if Brian is listening now, he can mull this over, how we can set up some sort of a method using us as kind of like a nexus point, so to help people like you. I'm not sure how we can do this exactly, but we're going to give this a try.
I don't know, but I just feel like it has to be done, because you know what? If they can build up their own agenda, we could do it too. And, we might not have, like Stephen Quill says, more degrees than a thermometer, but you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what? We're going to fight. We're going to fight for our families. We're going to fight for what we know. And you know what? Jesus imparted in us supernatural strength and abilities that we could tap into, and we could be resourceful also. And we have a lot of smart people, a lot of intellectual people behind the scenes that we could pull this together. I mean, why not just make something similar to a Facebook that is just for us to wake people up. You've seen how quick Facebook took off, and their agenda is so totally like off of what we're on. And this is coming from someone who's just been awake several months, so I just see the need for it. And it's like, Russ, Steve, you guys, it's just like, we just need to get together and just, time is I just feel like the hourglass. Every morning I wake up, I just feel like an hourglass running through my body, and it's so frustrating, but at the same time so motivating. It's so hard to describe that feeling, but I wanna be the type of man that wakes up and make Satan trembles in his feet, and say, wow, he woke up today, instead of just being like, wow, what am I going to do today to try to wake someone up? I want to be able to, while we have this internet, while we have these things up, let's use it. Let's,
right.
I'm going to get a rebate, maybe, hopefully, if the student loans don't take, whatever they get, but I'm willing to give whatever I can, you guys, to Steve, whatever. Let's just unite, because this awakening is not in void. There's people listening. There's people getting awake. And you guys have an anointing that you don't even understand. If you could fathom, like, the impact that you're having to just the wow. I don't even know, like, wow. Just to hear your testimony from where you guys were at to what you're doing now is like, let's just go full-fledged with this, whatever resources, let's band together. And just with the listeners itself, I think we're all, like, in the same need. It's kind of like something that we wake up with and go to sleep with every night. And, we could do this.
Very well said. And what caller? And by the way, it doesn't take money, money resources to create some sort of like a nexus area for to hook.
It's just Jesus. Jesus is waiting for us to say, you know what, guys, this is what I was waiting for, and this is the moment. Like Joe said earlier, this is what you were born to do. You know what? This is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for you guys to have this conversation. You know what? The internet is yours, guys. You know what? Let me open up this avenue. He did it for the Hagmann report. He did it for so many other ministries, so many of the men that you have that live in different realms. Why not just unite them? There's so many individuals that have, their books and different things going on, and but why not just unite them as one force? Why can't we be, just united instead of just like divided, but yet wanting to feel united? And it's so frustrating to me because we have this ultimate, Jesus breathed into us his spirit, and it's like we have to convince ourselves every day that we have that breath in us, but it's right there, and Jesus is just like, hey, come on, guys, this is what I've been waiting for. The momentum is there, and then it's like, we go to sleep, wake up, and have to, work on this momentum day by day. But I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I just want to motivate you guys. You have the resources. You guys know what to do. I'm just a regular guy, family, wife, kids, but I get it. I got it in a short period of time. I got it because of you. I got it because of Steve Quayle. I got it because of individuals like you. Your ministry makes a difference. No matter where you're at, let's use the resources we have to reach the population that we need to get to, so we could feel that we are actually just living this. Because, sometimes I think, how could you guys go to sleep knowing all the information that you know? But
you know, it just has to be another way, and there's going to be another way. I declare it in the name of Jesus right now tonight that we're gonna break through the airways. We're gonna break through. There's gonna be something that's so supernatural that we wouldn't even fathom this. But you know what? Just like you know, these Luciferians could get inspired in these negative ways, we could get inspired by Jesus, by the God that made everything. And I know that we're going to find a way to have this anointing just dripping from every possible avenue that could be. So,
wow.
Yeah, this is Eric from Philadelphia. You know, just want to call and lift you guys up, and you know what? Yeah, we're gonna be all right. We just gotta. We right now is the time. We gotta bond together right now, and we gotta make this happen. We gotta use resources. We gotta get together. We gotta bond. We gotta get like-minded people. Whoever is not with it is gonna get with it in one way or another. Because as Christians, followers of Jesus, we have a mandate that we have to do this. Because there's no way that we could hold God even accountable to his power if we don't feel the pain of his heart, and we got to embrace that. But the only way to embrace that is to be around like-minded individuals. So then that anointing could just grow and overflow, whether it be through texting, airways, a Facebook that's the Hagmann and Hagmann / Stephen Quayle / Russ Dizdar / you know, Lindsay, whatever it has to be. You know, let's unite that now, because I don't want to hear another headline that things are going haywire, but then we have, you know, someone in the left, someone in the right, someone in the north. No, let's do this. We have this power. God is everywhere. Why do we have to be somewhere when God is everywhere?
What a beautiful sentiment that is. And you're right, Eric, and I want to thank you very much for pointing this out. You know, maybe this would be something like a Facebook interface where, and Joe, this is live radio, but
we've been working on
something. Well, we've been working on it from a different tack, but maybe it's just as simple as that. What Eric said.
That's it. You know, you got this guy that you know he you know, this kid from Harvard want to, you know, use all of his God-given talent for something negative. Come on, you know, like we have some talented individuals. Let me tell you, I'm not someone that has any degrees, but after listening to you guys, you know, I work around some professional guys, and I throw some words around that sometimes I kind of impress myself. I'm like, hey, you know what? Hey, that's a Hagmann and Hagmann right there. You know what? That's a Stephen Quayle. But you know what? At the end of the day, you know, you guys are my college. You guys are my knowledge. And right now, I have to pay you homage. So let's do this. You know.
Wow. And that rhymed really well, man. That was.
Yeah,
that was good.
I mean, look, can I just lay this blueprint out? And you know, I try to do this. You know, I sent Steve Quayle an email. Steve sent me books. Those books opened my mind. Those books led me to you. Those leading me to you led me to some, wow, like I don't even listen to the news, but I know the news before the news pops up. And people think that I'm a prophet. I'm just like, listen to the Hagmans, you know? Like, listen to Stephen, listen to Russ, listen to my arsenal. Like, you guys are my arsenal at this point. You know, and sometimes a 22 could be as lethal as a 7.6 by 39. You know what I mean? So it's like, wow.
Yeah, we just look at ourselves as maybe, you know, as plinkers, like 22s versus some of the bigger, you know, guns like, you know, Steve Quayle, Russ Dizdar, and such.
Regardless of stature.
But if you have someone blinking, you have someone sniping, and someone dropping a bomb, well, you know what? The spiritual warfare, then you know what? Let's get it on. Because you know what? I'm sick of Satan messing with my finances and messing with my neighbors. I mean, what I deal with is I work in the social service realm, so I'm dealing with people that have HIV on a day-to-day basis. So when I do outreach, I see people with needles in their arms and their necks. And what I try to do is like perform some sort of deliverance at the same time, provide like some medical service to them. So it's like what you guys teach me, I couldn't learn that in any college. That's just knowledge that I'm just getting like at an accelerated pace. Like we're looking at February, like wow, what happened in January? But what happened in January is that we got so much knowledge from your 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours on the airways that it's like time is flying by. You know, Steve likes to say like I live at the speed of light, and you know I'm really 100 and something when I'm really, you know, but yeah, it's like that because you know I'm over here doing things that I only like used to talk to God about, but now God is like, hey, the knowledge is here, go do it. So I'm telling you guys, you know, it's kind of like a sparring. You know, you spar with someone, but you really like have love for them, but iron sharpens iron. So I'm saying, let's go do it. Let's open up a like-minded Facebook, and let's just blast them in their face and let them know that we could do this even better because we have the anointing of Jesus behind us. So in the name of Jesus right now, I want to declare that a social network site is going to be for like-minded people, individuals. This is going to be the college of knowledge for the Hagmans, for the Quails, for the Dizdars, for everyone who wants to know, who wants to be awake. Right now, I declare blessings, financial blessings are going to be released through all different ways, angles, things that we didn't even know right now, Lord. Bless these individuals because they've blessed me so much, Lord. And just let 2013 just be strength.
Amen. And all the glory goes to the Lord because we're not here by our own choices and never decided to start doing what we're doing, and here we are. So it's definitely out of our hands as far as where we are today. But, yeah, we can, put our heads together and come up with some kind of network where people will get together and gather who want to.
Yep. Well, Eric, thank you.
Let's change the verbiage from we can, but we will.
We will.
Because you know what? We have free will, and Jesus is just waiting. He's like, yep, you know what, guys? That's a snap of the finger. That's a twinkling of my eye. Just do it. Just do it, and I'm behind it. So God bless you guys. There's other people on hold. And you know what? Eric from Philadelphia wants to just basically just blast off and let you guys know that everything that you're doing is not in void, and we are going to fight this thing.
Very good. God bless you, Eric. And I want to say Gary as well sent me an email saying, you guys really need to create a social network so like-minded people can stick together and communicate. Indeed, we will do that. Gary, thank you for that email. Eric, thank you for that call. And folks all listening all across the United States and Canada and throughout the world, thank you for listening. We must, Joe, we must serve the listeners, and that's my belief in that capacity. So we got to be working on that because there are a lot of people that, and I've gotten emails, I just don't know what to do with them. Saying, well, okay, like how can we? It's almost like a Christian
I'm laughing
mingle.
Because I know what you mean.
It's like, well.
And thanks, Eric, so much for the great call.
Yes, absolutely.
That was wonderful. And he is right, and people are getting to that point where they want more fellowship. They want more of the Word. They want more of,
Well, even if it's just to talk about the Word or to talk about preps and survival, whatever it might be. it's important so that no one's really alone, and geographically. I mean, look, we know we cover a large area, so yeah, this is something important. This is something we can do. In fact, it's just, look, I look at my email inbox that I don't have any hope. I don't know if I can answer everybody. I'm probably not. I look at my phone messages. It's almost like it's every day it gets more and more and more and more, and it's like never ending. But we have to be that nexus point for people. I really believe that. So Brian, if you're listening, if you have any solid ideas, but if nothing else, we can just. What about the Hagmann Report Facebook page? Can people interact in that fashion, Joe? Or
there is a Hagmann Report Facebook page. A lot of people are not on Facebook though.
Right.
We also have Joe Hagmann and Doug Hagmann at Twitter.
And I've got a Facebook page, personal Facebook page, Doug Hagmann, I think.
Yeah, and. But what we need to do, what the caller was referring to, is something completely different.
Well, so somehow making, assisting others to like a Christian mingle for survivalists / people in the Word. Maybe that's not the right. I don't know I don't know what's right. But folks, you get the idea. And if there are any computer experts out there that know what we're talking about and that have extra time and want to pitch in, let us know.
Yeah, and just
if we can do it.
Yeah, and there are people that are willing to help that do have that information that have contacted me, and I need to get on the ball, and I guess get more into what they're saying. There people have offered to help make an app for phones and things like that.
I've gotten like 5 or 6 requests for. I don't even know what they're talking about. So what does that mean? An app for a phone?
Well, just
I'm showing my age.
Put on your phone, and you just press a button, and you'll be able to listen to shows, archive shows, live shows. But we'll talk about that later. We're going to move on the phones. Area code 704. We're coming to you next. You're live on the Hagmann and Hagmann Report. 704. That's you.
I'm just listening.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We'll put you back on hold.
Thanks.
All right.
See, now is that an app for a phone, or is that?
No, that's people call in to listen through the call-in number.
Okay.
And Blog Talk just redid some things, and people are saying that the problems aren't as bad with getting cut off. And I don't know if that has anything to do with what they changed, if anything. But just an FYI, we're going to go to area code 856. I think this is Sheila.
8. Ooh.
Hey, Sheila, you're live on the Hagmann and Hagmann Report, and you got some background noise.
Mark Levine's little talk tonight, I thought that was great. I think ain't nothing like telling it like it is.
That's right.
And that should be broadcast out every city, every state, where everybody can hear it, because it's the truth, But, what this gentleman was just saying, at the end of the day, you think about all this crap that's going on and you wonder, what do you do? I always say every night, Lord, this is getting so big, and he'll always say, but I'm bigger than all of it. And at the end of the day, we know that he's going to take care of us in this mess. He's going to take care of us in this mess. But I think what's going on here is a lot of people are wanting to get around other people that see what's coming. It's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to get with the people that feels the same way. I think that's what people are looking for.
No, indeed they are looking for that, Sheila, and that's what we're going to try to put together on a practical and a real working basis.
Well, I know I'm by myself in this mess, and I got to tell you, I get mad when I'm going to tell you, Doug, about the praying for leadership and whatnot. Look, I try to pray for Obama and these clowns in Washington, and and when I'm done, I'll say, Lord, I know you know I didn't mean a word I said. And He knows. He knows we struggle with what's going on. How can we not get angry? We wouldn't be human if we didn't get angry. We're watching our country being taken apart, No,
Sheila, you're exactly correct. Now we've got. I hate to do this to you, but we're going to have to cut you loose, because whatever you're using as a talking mechanism here, no one can hear you except for this whooshing noise. Sheila, I'm sorry, but God bless you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
that's better. I don't know what you did, but that's a lot.
I have my speakerphone on because of these discs in my neck. But that's why I have it on. So
Chad says I can hear you a little better. So
okay, we can hear you better. Okay, thank you. We can hear you.
When I was over on Alice's website, and I saw that advertisement for these biometric cards, Social Security cards.
Yes. I
was just so mad when I saw that. I was like the veteran that calls in and says he goes out and he barks at the cars. I got a military ID card, and I have to go down to Dover Air Force Base every 4 years to get that renewed. And they started taking our thumbprint.
Right.
And I could tell that the soldiers that do it, were uncomfortable about doing it. Is that chip in my ID card? I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if I want to know.
No, look, they're going to be using biometrics, whether it's your thumbprint, your retina scan, whatever. This is going to come into play more and more, Sheila, and I'll tell you one thing, it's not going to end well. Sheila,
we're going to have to let you go.
Yeah, we get another
hurricane in the background. God bless you.
God bless you, man. Wow.
Okay,
yeah,
bye-bye.
Well, the speakers Sheila. Out here. My headphones, I think my ears are bleeding. Wow. Sorry, Sheila. Whatever was going on with your phone was really screwing up our headphones.
It might not be her phone, too. I did receive another alert that there was problems on BTR servers today. So.
Well, okay. Well, whatever that was holy cow. I don't know if the people could hear it. Okay, let's move on. I just want to say this. I want to thank you, Marilyn, for sending this. Once again, and Wayne for sending this. We were 4 months ahead of things. Obama accused of staging a chemical weapons attack January 28th. It was revealed through a huge document dump from a hacker based in Malaysia that the UK-based mega defense contractor Britain was approached about lobbing a chemical weapon into homes. Now, we talked about this before. We just want to say that the Lemmings article on our website, we talked about this, staging a chemical weapons attack. We beat the mainstream media by 4 months. We note the non-existent State Department contact, probably the CIA, is a little note I received on this. But the bottom line is this. Foreign Policy magazine, they did an investigation report a couple of weeks ago. They got the Obama administration to leak a classified cable marked as secret describing how Syrian dictator Assad had lobbed a chemical weapon on his own people, murdering 5 and sickening dozens. So they got the Obama administration to anonymously comment on the cable, giving extensive details about how the information was gathered, what group put together the information, and even pried from the mouth of the beast that the information came from a State Department-funded group called BASMA, B-A-S-M-A, which oddly doesn't exist. BASMA doesn't exist, so what does that mean? It means CIA. And if that's CIA, that means that, well, this is a CIA operation. And more and more, folks, the more and more we look at Obama, the background of Obama, the fact that his mother and Timothy Geithner's father worked together in Indonesia, do we think, in the missing Columbia years?
And his mother working for the Ford factory?
Yes, in microfinance. You know something? It almost appears that Obama is a CIA creation.
And does it, in the grand scheme,
In the grand scheme, it doesn't matter, absolutely, because we are now a captured country, a captured operation.
But it's not his fault. We were captured well before he was even a senator.
Right, but
I know he's playing his role now.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
A face of what is happening. He is just a, I don't know. I don't want to say bad timing because I don't think the man is good. Otherwise, he would stand up against the evil that it is encompassing that city. And if it cost him his life, then so be it. Like John F. Kennedy. He said,
you know what? You swear an oath. And that oath, as far as I'm concerned, you protect the Constitution. And protecting the Constitution, I mean, you've got a job to do. You go into... I don't recall who said it, but anyone who runs for president is going to be absolutely crazy or, have some sort of agenda.
Right. Anymore, yeah.
So... But we are a captured nation, a captured operation, with Obama being, and I believe this, if you trace it back, you would find the direct link to the UK, of course, the British, Obama being a British subject. And that brings me to this, before I forget, once again, folks, I would ask everyone listening to this broadcast, because of the important information about mind control, about what's been taking place with Sandy Hook and all of the shootings and the people that we see, the Loeffners. If you look at these actors, these active shooters of the schools, and if you look at them and look at the history, the one common thread is mind control. The one common thread is psychiatric or psychological problems, or psychiatric drugs, or psychotropic drugs. And even going back to Sirhan Sirhan and James Earl Ray, even back then, or even going back further into JFK, there is this thread of mind control. So here's my request. Gary Bell, A View from Space, AM 640 out of Toronto, has a very, very good program every Saturday night. I think it begins now at 11 o'clock at night because of the hockey schedule. But that said, send him an email. Let him know that you heard about his program from the Hagmann and the Hagmann Report, and listen to his programs. Listen to what he's got to say about mind control, and about, not only that, about where this is all coming from, because he's looking at this from, I would say, a view from space, a larger view, the larger picture. As the reason we say this, the reason I say this, is because you can learn a lot from what he says, and he puts things together in such a way that it supplements and complements what we're doing. So if you want to get like the full picture, you can't just get it from us. You can't just get it from whoever. You have to get it from multiple sources, and then connect the dots yourselves in some cases. Well, A View from Space, AM 640, Toronto. Send him an email. Listen to his program. Send him an email. Tell him you heard about him from us, and listen to what he's got to say. Because I got to tell you, it's that important. Tomorrow night, every Saturday night, by the way, but tomorrow night it's the second installment of 2 about mind control, about Sandy Hook, about the Aurora, Colorado shooter, and about the various mind control things that are in play. And some people, and I've gotten emails saying, well, you know what, this is all fantasy that you're talking about. No. For 30 years, the CIA spent 6%. Think about this, folks. 6% of the operating budget of the CIA for 30 years went to mind control. And do you think they stopped after the Church Commission hearings in the mid-'70s? Of course not. 44 separate universities were involved in experimentation. Thousands of people were victims, whether willing or unwitting victims of mind control. This is still going on. It's important. It's important to understand. And does it have an effect on what's going on today? Absolutely. So I just wanted to bring that out. I didn't mean to get off tangent there, get off script, but there you go.
We got a bunch of callers on hold. We're going to go back. Area code 260. We're coming to you. You're live on the Hagmann and Hagmann Report.
Hello.
Hello there.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Is this thing on?
Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking my call. I'm from Indiana, Northeast Indiana, and I just been hearing so many threats and warnings about the upcoming Super Bowl. Wondered if you'd heard anything, if we should be prepared, or what do you think about that?
Well, do you live near New Orleans?
No, I live in Northeast Indiana. But some of the things I've been listening to and watching YouTube, and some of it may be just junk because they said this about the Olympics too, but and nothing happened. But they're talking about a nuclear, explosion, and then something over the Hoover Dam taking off and wiping off Nevada, and all the earthquakes that might take place, and I just wondered if there was any intel or anything at all to any of that.
I will say nobody really knows what they have planned, and I don't think it matters one way or the other.
Well, it matters if you're underneath a nuclear bomb. It matters. I mean, to you, but
the important thing is, like you said about the Olympics, and the last Super Bowl, they hyped up a big, nuclear. There's going to be a nuclear attack. They hyped up the Olympics, even putting little subliminal images and commercials and other things. They're doing this over and over. It is to keep the public off of what is important, and that what is important for this country is our economic situation. That is going to tell us how soon we are going to be turned over or the troops unleashed on us. And more importantly is what our spiritual duty is and our growth in the Lord.
Well, let me address the Super Bowl aspect if I can, because I've gotten a number of emails about this and I haven't had a chance to respond to any of them. But with respect to the Super Bowl, there will be so much security, as always, actually since 9/11, that it is unlikely that anything that would happen at the Super Bowl would be Al-Qaeda or Islamic terrorism based. Okay, now it might sound like I'm getting way out in the strange part of town here.
Well, just say it like it is. Al-Qaeda is a U.S. government creation and is funded by the U.S. government to this day.
Well, yes, but I don't see. Here's the thing: anything that happens from this point forward, or even over the last couple of years forward, is going to be designed to advance a specific agenda, an agenda to keep Americans afraid, and an agenda that will
keep you off track.
Will keep you off track. Plus, advance the agenda of gun control, for example, or advance the agenda of having troops in the streets. So, caller, I'll tell you what, I don't. There's nothing I can say this. From monitoring the Arabic language web-based forums, there's nothing on there about any type of specific threat to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Okay, now, go ahead.
Some of the videos that are out take the connection all the way from, the Sandy Hook to the ley lines to, I don't know if you've seen any of these type things.
Yeah.
Jonathan Clark, they're all kinds of that New World Order cabal that has this secret plan to destroy half of the population.
Right.
And I don't know, like you say, it sounds so crazy and far out there and bizarre, but then you see what the world's president is up to, and you have to go, well, maybe there is some reality here going on. But anyway, it's just scary. And I have a sister and her husband are taking off for Nevada. I'm like, oh, geez, maybe I should tell them not to go.
No, of course not. I would say no. But caller, you bring up a good point. It sounds so crazy when sometimes some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth, when I hear it, it's like, really? Is this real?
I know. But I know, and I know that I was kind of sounding the alarms at some of the other things that never came to pass. So I don't want to sound another alarm and look like a total idiot.
Well,
But on the other hand, I want people to be prepared. I figure, if you got your gas tank full and you got food in the house, that's about, and I'm praying and I'm ready, and I just pray the rest of my family is. But beyond that, I just guess, what can we do about it?
Well, just what you said. just, the practical preparations are so important. And if you have some extra food, the reasonable practical preparations are very important. And and as crazy as it sounds, and Joe mentioned it too, they are out to bring down our economy. They, meaning the globalist people, are out to bring down our economy. I mean, we had Larry Grathwohl on the other day, who said very simply that, he sat in a room with Bill Ayers and other people, college people, talking about the extermination of 25 million people. This is back in 1970.
Yeah, when the population was 250 million, maybe.
So yeah, I know, and all of that stuff, all sort of intertwines and fits together, and it makes you really go,
Right. Yeah, the legislation's there, the planning's there.
So, just keep doing. I have a feeling you're well grounded in information and well grounded in preparation. Just keep keep doing what you're doing, but keep your ear close to the ground too. And if something does happen, don't automatically take it at face value. Look at just like Sandy Hook or whatever. Keep an open mind before
Well,
so
I appreciate it, and I was listening to Eric's call, and I thought she was great, and I thought, on Facebook you can create a group and maybe get together with a group of people, because there's so many people that think the same like he was talking about, but they're so far away. There's very few in my community that think and feel and share my thoughts and views. They're all kind of online and long distance,
Right.
So it would be really great to have that type of a group or some kind of a connection if we can work that out. But anyway, I appreciated his call and your work. I just wanted to thank you, and I appreciate your information here.
Well, thank you very much.
Keep praying, looking up.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Take care. Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. And if we can have a group, Joe, a group in the diner in the center of the country to listen together, I'm sure we can get this done. So we will work on this.
Yeah, and we're going to wait until we only got a couple minutes going into break. No news, only your phone calls in the next hour. We're going to go to Jason first. Seems like you've been on hold the longest. We thank all of you for your patience. Then we're going to go right down the line in order of time.
We don't screen calls here either. We do give you this is your show, so as well, and we give you the floor to the extent that we can.
Yeah,
and that's the nice part about having a show like this.
And just a reminder for those joining us late, tomorrow we will be on Dr. Elizabeth's show, Tribulation News Online. That will be from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah.
And then Sunday we will have Greg Evenson and Steve Quayle on talking about the new military drills that are being conducted, unannounced, with helicopters, guns drawn, firing shots, scaring civilians in schools, firing shots, scaring civilians, kids, and their excuse is, well, we want them to get accustomed to hearing gunshots.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of justification is that?
That's
for these anti-gun people, you know what I mean? And now you have the Department of Homeland Security saying, if you find yourself in a mass shooter situation, run and hide, and if you can't do that, well, then grab a staple and do as much damage as you can, because we're taking your guns away, putting them in our arsenal for when we come for you.
I want to sneak in this news story, just because in the event you have not heard this, and if you haven't, you probably should have. Obama closing air defense system on U.S.-Mexico border. We've talked about this a couple of times this week. Excuse me, Texas and America vulnerable to attack from low-altitude missiles and aircraft. There's no excuse for this. On January 17th, this past January 17th, Excelis Systems Corporation sent out an email to all of its employees informing them that on March 15th of this year, all TARS, that's T-A-R-S, air defense mission operations, are going to be gone completely. In other words, the TARS air defense sites were under the control of the U.S. Air Force, and the Air Force informed Excellus that, hey, you know what? We don't have any money. We're going to shut this down. This means that the southern border of the United States of America will be more vulnerable to attack from low-flying aircraft, low-altitude missiles, and other infiltrations such as smuggling. Not only will this closure mean hundreds of people will be out of jobs, but it also means our borders will not be safe as if they ever were. I guess we're just going to have to put more signs up down there saying, don't go here because you might get raped, pillaged, robbed, murdered, whatever. But there's a lot of remote area along the or along the U.S.-Mexico border, like in Texas. These defense radar detect low-flying aircraft, gone. As of March 15th, gone. And bottom line here, under Obama, opening up the southern border even more.
Yeah. With that, we're going to go to break, and we'll be right back after these short messages with your calls, and your calls only, on the last day of the week for our show.
The first
day of the month, February 1st, 2013. We'll be right back after a few short messages. You're listening to the Hagmann and Hagmann Report.
Survival of the fittest. In any and all situations, survival is your number one priority. That requires being tough and thinking smart. And the folks at Freeze Dry Guy are going to help you do just that. They have a long-range patrol ration entrees, what they call the Brick Pack. When you're in survival mode, it is absolutely the best item for your survival pack or bug-out bag. You can go farther, faster, and carry more food with the LRP cold weather ration entrees. Not only do these long-lasting, durable entrees help sustain you or your family through the harshest environment or situation, they are by far the most delicious of their kind. No contest. With a variety of tasty entrees, you can't beat the LRP Brick Packs. Let Freeze Dry Guy help you in your survival situations. Go to freezedryguy.com. That's freezedryguy.com, or call 866-404-3663. That's 866-404-FOOD.
If you're stumped, you don't know what kind of gift to give to a friend or a loved one, I'm telling you, you must go to 4physics.com. That's the numeral 4, PHYSICS.com. This is your one-stop shopping palace. That's the only way I can put it. I could spend easily an hour on this website. Innovative, fun, educational. There are games, books, weather instruments, unique time-telling devices, jewelry, optical devices, laboratory equipment. Let me give you an example. We all know we can tell time with a sundial. You've seen those advertised. Did you know that you could tell time by the stars? At 4physics.com, you can buy a horologium nocturnum. This was a navigational device used in the 15th century by navigators at night to tell time by the stars. It's beautifully crafted in the shape of a pendant made of bronze and pewter or gold and silver. Absolutely a stunning gift. I would be proud to give it to anyone. You must go to 4physics.com. Even if you're not stumped, that's 4physics. That's the numeral 4, PHYSICS.com. It's your one-stop shopping palace. Any problems that you have, I don't know what to get Grandpa, I don't know what to get my loved one, that's unique, you will find it at 4physics.com. Please take my word for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to draw your attention to the Freeze Dry Guy. Freeze Dry Guy, if you go to HomelandSecurityUS.com, click on the Freeze Dry Guy icon on the right-hand side of our website. They're having a warehouse blowout sale from the 1st, that's today, to the 14th of February 2013. Just two great items for your grab-and-go bag. There is an Oriental spicy chicken, which chicken with rice, actually. It's U.S. government overrun of U.S. government stock. But what I found really interesting and I've got to see these. Real ice cream with no refrigeration required. Actually, they're ice cream desserts. You eat it dry, and supposedly it's delicious. Now, I've got to find out about these. Normally, $198 per case. One case now is on sale for $159, which, you think about that, ice cream, especially when you need it most in stressful situations. That's freezedryguy.com, freezedryguy.com. And then I want to tell you folks, too, about one of our sponsors. What a great couple, the Granlunds. And if you go to HomelandSecurityUS.com, click on the link on the right-hand side. It'll take you to Granlund Firearms of British Columbia. Now, they're up there in Campbell's River, British Columbia, the salmon capital of the world. They're located on Dogwood, just south of Muircroft Street, across the street from the movie gallery. If you're familiar with that area of British Columbia, if you're not, take a virtual tour. Go to GranlundFirearms.com. Look through their website. They've got a wonderful gun stock list right now. And I'll tell you something, their inventory is greater than the gun store down the road from me, where I'm at right now. And their prices are incredible. So check out GranlundFirearms.com. Be sure to sign their guest book. Tell them Doug and Joe Hagmann sent you. Certainly, if you have any survival gear needs, gun needs, that's the place to go. And that's GranlundFirearms.com.
Doug Hagmann. One guy that doesn't need a bullhorn to get your attention.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
And welcome back to our third and final hour of the Hagmann and Hagmann Report this Friday, February 1st, 2013. We're going to go right to your calls. Thanks for being so patient. For those of you on hold, we're going to go to Jason first. Jason, welcome to the Hagmann and Hagmann Report.
Thank you so much, Joe and Doug. God bless you tonight. And if I sound a little weak right now, I'm probably going to sound weak because I'm on the second day of a fast, so I might slip a little bit with what I'm going to say tonight. But I just wanted to say really quick, I wanted to bring a little bit of spiritual meat to the show, perhaps. And I wanted to read a little bit of scripture for everybody. Would that be okay?
Sure.
Okay. Revelation chapter number 3, starting with verse number 7. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man openeth. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, but are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Because thou hast kept thy word, the word of my patience, I will, wow, I'm buzzing. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is the New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Excuse me. That is one of the 7 letters to the 7 churches from the book of Revelation. And I just want to say to everybody in chat that's not a troll, we, brothers and sisters in Christ, you wonderful people, we are that church, the Church of Philadelphia. And I'm going to tell you, pre-trib, post-trib, mid-trib, whatever, when the time comes, we're getting called home. And we do know that there is some kind of supernatural spiritual event where those of us that are left living when that time comes are transformed, and we behold him as he is, as John puts in his gospel. We, folks, can't, in these earthly, fleshly bodies, we have no idea what that means. Because if you talk to a scientist that believes, they say that Jesus Christ, when he resurrected, probably enjoyed the amazing 11 dimensions that our creation actually was made in prior to the fall. And, we just experienced the 3 physical and the 1 untangible, which is time. So all I just wanted to do was add just maybe a little bit of spiritual meat to the show, because I'm doing this fast, and I'll tell you, when I read that, I was buzzing. And I really think that we are close to the door, guys, of Jesus Christ kicking the veil. And we might be far, far into the tribulation, way more than anybody could even believe. So, Joe, maybe you'd like to talk on that. What do you think, brother?
Yeah, as far as the times we're in, they're definitely, we can never assume that we have extra time or more time, regardless of the times and seasons that the Lord has appointed, because us ourselves can die at any moment. And
amen, brother. Amen. And I would call death for a believer a rapture, wouldn't you?
I didn't hear that. I didn't. Repeat that, please.
Wouldn't you call death for a believer a rapture? That's the way I see it. When we die, our physical body dies, and our spirit goes to him if we're saved. And, to me, that's a rapture. So
yeah,
there's
two deaths, the physical and the spiritual. Right. Call it, anything you want, and I agree with that. There are two deaths.
Right, for a believer, like I'm saying, your spirit is saved. You're marked by the blood of Jesus. So when your physical body dies, you're with him, So that's, I think the problem is, Joe, that the vocabulary of the word rapture has been so, controversialized, if I can make up my own word, in the body of Christ. When it comes up, it brings up emotions in people that divide the body. And that's one thing that we need to put outside the door and just come together as the body and discuss and search the scriptures daily, be like the Bereans, and just come to the Lord have the Lord as close in our hearts and to us as we can. And that's my message tonight, guys. I love your show and everything you do. God bless every single broadcast you do, because we're at the door, guys. We are.
Very good, Jason. Look, you take care of yourself and just watch, as you fast, watch, just be careful, but right. Trust in God. And thank you very much for providing us with the spiritual meat, as you put it, for the program.
Yeah, and Jason show, Revelation News on Blog Talk Radio. Excellent show. Check it out.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, this Sunday we'll have Ben Shapiro, editor of Breitbart, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So check it out, guys, if you want to. God bless you, Doug and Joe. Thank you so much.
All righty.
Awesome, Jason. Have a good night.
And Jason, tell Ben I said hello.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, my friend.
Will do, brother.
All right. And, Joe, Marianne sent this, just real quick, Marianne sent me an email earlier today saying that, and I'm kind of going backwards on this because Jason mentioned this. Perhaps, I wonder, she says, I wonder if we are seeing something from the book of Revelation right now. And I'm kind of going backwards. That was kind of one of the closing sentences of her email. Revelation 6, verses 3 and 4. And when he opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And she was referencing this. We remember how people were talking about what's happened ever since December 21st, and the growing signs of civil war, something happening, the portals, the things happening, the outrageous rhetoric from the gun grabbers, racial incitement, and all everything going on. Okay?
All the people who are calling for gun control or calling for murders on the
right,
the double talk. They're really letting there's a veil that has been lifted.
Right.
There's a physical veil that's been lifted that can lead you into the spirit if you're willing to go there. But there's also a spiritual veil that's been lifted. And who was it? Eric from Philadelphia earlier mentioned he feels when he wakes up the burden, the intensity of that. And I understand exactly what he's mentioning.
I do too. And Marianne writes in Romans that God has turned them over to something has changed. Something's loose in the world. It seems that there's some kind of restraint that's been removed. And Marianne writes it in Romans when God said, when it says that God turned them over to a reprobate mind, He had been restraining them, and He stopped doing it. And then you see all that, like homosexuality and such. This is what's happening in America today and in other parts of the world. So, this is interesting. Even thinking about the increase in zombie crimes, for example, zombie incidents we've been seeing in the last year. Well, wow, this is really, and again, it brings me to the statement. I wonder if we're seeing something from the Book of Revelation. She writes, perhaps that be the case, kind of to buttress what Jason mentioned.
And to find that answer, really, it's going to take a lot of personal time with the Lord and yourself, being in the Word. Only He can tell you for sure exactly the times we're in and what needs to be done during those times. We're going to move on in the phone lines here. Somebody calling in through Skype, unknown.
Skype, you're up.
Hey, you right?
That's you.
Hey, how are things?
Very well. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, I was like, I'm fairly new to this, so please explain something if I don't understand. But I read something on the news a while ago about some government secret project over in America, and it was something to do with the battle to oppress America's democratic system. I think they called it something like Operation Battletoads or something in the media. I was just wondering if any of you had heard anything about it.
Well, first of all, if we can ask, what country are you calling from?
England.
England, okay. And operation, what was the name of the operation again?
It was Battletoads. It was something like the battle to oppress America's democratic system or something.
Oh. I do have one piece of news that might not be related to what you're talking about, but there was a Harvard study done confirming fluoride reduces IQ of children. And I'm not going to go through the whole study. Many of you know that fluoride is in a huge percentage of the water systems here, and in the vaccines and different chemical attacks, they have manipulated and restrained the ability of people to have their brain grow to the fullest.
Well, yeah, but I think what this caller is talking about is some sort of...
They've made us docile.
Well, right, that would be one aspect of it, but to repress freedom, democracy, freedom in America, the caller, there seems to be multiple operations at play here. Whether, whatever name it's known by or they're known by, you've got this Marxist cutout of a president that is initiating executive orders or legislating by executive order. You've got power taken away or ceded by our legislative branch. You've got the judiciary that's corrupted. So we've got a multi-pronged assault against our freedoms here in this country, which, frankly, it's multiple levels of assault. So while we can look at that operation which you referenced, the bigger picture is there are multiple operations in play right now. And I don't know if that helps you, but we can look into what you had referenced.
Yeah,
the operation.
If you want to send us a link, or
yeah, I will do. I just think I've read about it, and I just thought, like, I read about this Operation Battletoads, and I just thought, how could the American government do that to their own system? I couldn't understand it. I didn't think they were capable of doing it.
Well, you know what? A normal, and we thought that, we think that too, in a way, a normal democratic government would not do that to its own people. But what we have, America is once again a captured operation. We've been taken over by this Marxist, globalist agenda. So what we're seeing is nothing like the America of the 20th century, early 20th century. We're seeing this power that's ceding itself to a globalist rule that's actually more European.
Oh, really?
So the influence here is European, and you bring up a good point. But do us a favor and click go to HomelandSecurityUS.com and send us an email. Our contact information is on the left of the operation specifically, and we'll get back. In fact, we'll make it one of our programs next week.
Oh, really? That would be brilliant.
Appreciate it.
I just think, I saw it and I came across your channel earlier on, and I thought, I'll watch this. To be fair, some of the things I don't really understand that you talk about, but I thought this would be perfect to talk about on the show.
Right. Well, look, we really appreciate your call from the UK, and by the way, how are things in the UK? How's the Queen doing?
Well, I can't ask her personally, obviously, but I'm sure she's okay.
No, we appreciate you listening from the UK, and please send us that information, because we will dedicate at least a portion of the program to that, to see if we can't get to the bottom of that specific operation. And that way we'll have at least a record here, a document where we can follow through with it for you. All right?
Brilliant.
All right, sir. God bless you, my friend.
All right, thank you very much. You too. Bye.
All right. And that's great.
Great call, all the way from
the UK. See, people are hungry and thirsty for the truth, and I'll tell you what, it's great to know that. God bless that gentleman, by the way.
Yeah. All right. So we still got time left. We got some callers on hold.
Let's get to them. Let's get to them.
661-244-9839.
Come on in and let's wrestle.
There's only about 2 people that are on hold and want to call in. And when you call in, I think you press 1, and that gives us an indicator that you want to come on air. In case people are on hold and we're not getting to their calls, that might be why.
In fact, I just saw this blip. We had about right before the top of the hour, we had a pretty full phone bank, and all of a sudden, bam, everything just kind of went out again. So go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
All right, we're going to go to 413. You're live on the Hagmann Report.
Hi guys, I just want to pass along a little information from my neck of the woods over the past week or so, and this has to do with the shootings and all that. And my grandson, I raise him. He's 6, and he goes to kindergarten in a very small school here in Western Mass, and he's autistic, and he's in a significantly other classroom. And last week they went into, they started having emergency preparedness drills for these kids in the elementary school, and the fire department and police department actually came in, and they did an actual lockdown of the school, a mock, and they'll be having these drills now, I guess, occasionally. Well, yesterday I got an email in the middle of the day from the school, and they actually had to lock down the school because they found a .22 bullet in the hallway on the floor. And so they actually did do the entire lockdown of these kids in the school. And, whatever the case ended up, it obviously ended safely, but the police came and stayed for the rest of the day and everything. They don't know why the bullet was there. They don't know, they didn't, they didn't find out the reason. But I just thought that was kind of bizarre.
Well, in addition to being bizarre, what do you think? I mean, it's all a bizarre, but what? I mean, what do you make of this? What are your
thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, what are you thinking about this?
Did someone plant the bullet? That's what I thought. That was the first thing I thought. Wait a minute, they found a .22 bullet on the floor in the hallway. It was just on the floor in the hallway. The kids weren't around. Somebody found the bullet. It kind of sounds planted to me.
Me too, actually.
Why did it happen a week after their first emergency preparedness drill? Now, I'm just thinking of my poor grandson who's learning how to huddle in a corner and be quiet while, some intruders in the building,
Right.
But I just wanted to pass that information along because this is very rural. It's very small townish. And here it is in my neck of the woods.
Boy, that
isn't very far from Connecticut either.
That doesn't set right with me. I'm kind of with you. A week after the drill, and then this, and man,
about 1 week.
Wow. So you're in. Tell me again, what state you're in?
Massachusetts, Western Massachusetts.
Western Mass. Okay. Wow. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen out there listening, if your school or if your children's school had any similar incidents, we'd like to know about it because you just never know what you're going to get from asking the question. Because who knows? Maybe a school in California might have had something like this happen. I'd like to know.
Right.
Interesting and all. It's kind of a data point that's out there that, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, you know me, Doug. I'm always calling in whenever whenever I have something that people might be going through or interested in knowing also, just everyday person going through life, and I get an email that they locked the school down.
And now, one other question about that. They finished out the day without incident, correct? I mean, in other words,
right.
Okay,
yep.
So whatever time they found this .22 caliber bullet, they locked the school down, had the police presence, and then bam, okay, you were let go. No active searching of children, lockers, or anything like that?
They did. They actively searched the entire school.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yes, they did. Yep. And
found nothing.
All the kids' knapsacks, everything. They went through everything.
Wow. All right. So now in 2013, in February, a single .22 caliber bullet found in the hallway of a school will basically stop everything.
Right. Yep.
I don't know what to make of that.
A Nerf gun will do that.
Yeah. But
I mean, we've seen that already.
But the other thing, none of it sounds right.
No, it doesn't.
This doesn't seem like the kind of school where a .22 would be found on the floor anyway. The whole thing just seems so weird.
What's the grade span of the school?
Elementary.
Oh, okay. So like it would be from 1st to 8th grade, or 1st to 6th grade, or
kindergarten to 6.
Okay, K to 6. Okay. Well, yeah, K to 6 and .22 caliber bullet. So you're talking about children, relatively young children.
Right.
Oh man, I don't know. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But well, please keep your ears to the ground and let us know. We really appreciate you letting us know this. And
I sure will.
And
I will.
All right. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for everything that you guys do.
Well, thank you.
Good night.
You too.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening out there, and if your school or children's school or grandchildren's school has had a similar incident where they found .22 or a bullet or something odd that caused a lockdown, we'd like to know about this, because it does seem it does seem to me there are geographical areas here. In fact, I caught part of the news locally here. They were talking about gun violence in schools, and it was just a local puff piece, if you will. I just had a funny feeling watching it, and I can't describe it, but it was almost as if they were saying, "Look, another incident is going to happen."
Yeah,
without saying it.
Look at the backlash to what they've already tried to implement. It's not going over well.
Well, see,
they're going to have to do something else.
And folks, and Joe, that fact alone, do you believe? Could it be? Do we dare even think that because of the backlash, because it's not having the desired effect, that there could be something else, something more? I mean, am I terrible to think this?
No, we know it's coming. We know there'll be more. They won't stop until their agenda is finished. No matter how many innocents, no matter how many, what they call, collateral damage, they're going to get their agenda pushed through by any means necessary, whether it means destroying the economy, killing innocent children, women. It doesn't matter. They will bring utter chaos to every street in this country if that's what is needed to bring about their agenda, and that's the bottom line. Wow. And our government's involved, and it's backed by a bigger international government, and it's backed by satanic elements. So that's why the spiritual aspect of this is so important.
Oh, no, I agree with that. I do agree with that. But you know, here we have things are just not feeling right with the schools, especially with the schools. And I want to just stress that. And now we've got the Super Bowl where there are going to be 26 children from the Sandy Hook school at the Super Bowl. You heard about that?
Yeah.
What exactly? What does that convey to the observant public?
To me, it just they're maybe. I mean, they're kids. They went through a tragic situation.
They're props.
They are props, but this isn't a political event.
Right, but it's a political statement at a sporting event.
I understand that, and that's something I'll think about a little bit more. The Super Bowl is Sunday, only 2 days away. We're going to go back to the phones. Let's see, 541. You're up next. You're live on the Hagmann and Hagmann Report. Area code 541.
Is that me?
That is you.
It's you.
All right. Well, I have recently heard about this new government organization plan. I think it's something like Operation Battletoads or something like that. But I've heard roughly really, really small rumors that their plan is to ban the studies of the Lord in schools. And I was just wondering if you had any ideas about this.
I don't know what the name of the plan is, but they've been doing that for a long time.
No,
banning the Lord in schools.
I believe it's called Operation Battletoads.
Like Battle TOADS or?
Yeah, Battletoads. And I put the caller on mute just for a sec. Just because I just wanted to check something out here. Do you find anything on that?
I don't know. I don't know what to make of that.
All right, regardless of the name, the caller does make a good point, but the plan is nothing new. God has been removed from school completely, and really the only thing that they're going to bring in is you are for all the religion, or the one world religion, the one world leader, whatever they place there.
You know, I'm just kind of wondering. Not against this call or anything like this. I'm wondering if we're being played here.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot. For those who listen to Archive, it's the majority of our listeners. We've been had some people in chat rooms trying to come in and and cause trouble. But
yeah, and let me just give a message to the people in the chat room. We love you, the people that want to come in there and to talk and to interact. Fine, and
we love the trolls too.
Well, the trolls. Let me tell you something, okay?
But what do you accomplish by coming in and typing a sentence and getting kicked out?
Okay, come on, stop it. All right, and that goes the same too for anyone trying to disrupt but we'll look into this. But I don't like to be played. I don't like to be played for a fool either. So
yeah.
But we'll look into this.
And caller, I'm sorry if you are right on the name on that, but there's a lot of things going on that you tell me that might not be accurate.
You kind of hit me and hit us. Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
All right. Area code 917. We're coming to you next. You're live on the Hagmann and Hagmann Report.
How you doing, guys?
Excellent.
Well, let me check. Yeah. All right.
Doug, I'm the one who sent you the email. I'm Gary from New York about the social network site.
Oh, hi, Gary. Thank you for that.
I think it would be a good idea, like you were talking about, especially for the people who are alone, to have some, not on Facebook, because not everybody is on Facebook, but kind of have your own little central hub where like-minded people could get together, so that if and when, God forbid, we all need to kind of stay in contact with each other. You know, it could kind of be used for multiple purposes. You could spread the word on your show, and it could keep kind of all of us, you know, kind of together.
Right. Well, we do
keep in contact with each other.
Well, Gary, we do have a Facebook page. But how would that work in terms of what would be in other words, how do we do it? I mean,
well, you would need to talk to somebody who knows how to develop a website for you. Like a friend and I created a social network for dog owners, and it was pretty simple. It was inexpensive. It cost us about $1,500 here in New York just to have dog owners have profiles for their dogs and stuff like that. I just don't. I'm against Facebook because I know all about InQtel and the purpose of it, so I'm totally against it.
I agree.
If I was a familiar face like you guys, then of course I would use it for business purposes. But I just stay away from it because I don't trust it.
Right.
But I think you guys should try and look into it. I mean, I'll help whatever I could do. I'm not a web developer, so I wouldn't be able to help you from that aspect. But I mean, I'm sure you guys have listeners who would help you, you know, maintain it and run it. But I think it's something you guys should seriously look into because I think it could be successful.
Well, you know, Gary, with the number of people, the number of listeners we have, and how kind of spread out we are, I think it's at this point it would be incumbent upon us to do something proactive, and especially the people that, you know, like Sheila's, you know, for example, and I'm not picking on her, I'm selecting her, but you know, not having a lot of family friends close by, so you can kind of develop your own network, you know, before anything happens. I mean, now is the time, not when things happen. Now is the time.
Yep.
You know, so
and it's like I told you guys, I'm leaving New York next month. I'll be moving out to PA, not near you guys out there, but a little bit closer to the east. And like it would be a perfect opportunity for me to go onto your website and link up with other people who maybe are in that same area. Because, you know, the strong communities are the ones that are going to survive longer.
That's right.
Than the people who are out there on their own. And if you surround yourselves with people, communities who are going to stick up for what's right and what's wrong, and people who are awake, you're a lot stronger than if you're just, you know, like me. I'm the only man here in my family. It's me, my wife, and she's having a baby.
Well, congratulations.
I'm the one God. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm the one God chose, and like you said, I was born in 1979 on purpose. You know, every situation that we're put in on purpose because God believes in us.
That's right.
And you know, what the last caller and the guy from England called about this Project Toad, whatever. It doesn't have to have a project name to it. It's called Illuminati. And that's what these guys, that's what their deal is. they're going to try their best. That's why Christians are enemies, is because they're going to do their best with their fake Antichrist to have everybody believe in it. And I was raised a Catholic, and when I started studying Illuminati, I realized that the Catholic Church wasn't really what it presented on the outside, and the Vatican is evil. I hate to break the news to people, but you got a Pope in 2002 who says pedophilia is normal. You have all these Catholic priests who, are raping these little kids, and you got the Church of Rome. And the Vatican is responsible. They're pretty much one of the big banks. If you study Illuminati, you know that they're probably the church in the Bible that they talk about that's going to try to deceive people into believing that the Antichrist is the second coming, and people who are awake aren't going to fall for it. And that's when things are going to get real hairy. We think things are hairy now. It's nothing in comparison to what it's going to be when an event like that happens, if it happens during our lifetime, which the way things are looking right now, it kind of looks like that.
Well, Gary, it's difficult too when we talk about whether it be the Catholic Church or the Mormons, or if you select a Christian, any group under the Christian banner, okay, and you start getting into things. We do know, for example, the pitfalls with the various popes, and the one pope here recently calling, advocating the New World Order. We do know about the Vatican, the bank, the Vatican Bank. There are many issues here. To those issues, we would urge folks to do your own research on that, but to step back a few steps. What you said earlier about the Illuminati, about the one world government, this group of control people, they represent all factions, and this transcends. It's bigger than any one given religion, don't you think? I mean, don't you think that
And,
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, the thing that's scary about it is that they're think tanks. I mean, they just pretty much replace Jesus. Like, I've converted myself into becoming a Christian because of what I've learned and experienced through Catholic churches. Even though I know my grandmother, rest in peace, she was hardcore Catholic. Pictures of the Pope, no meat on Fridays, going to church every day, slept in different beds than my grandfather. I mean, she was as hardcore as they come.
Right.
And it was hard for me to leave all that, but I'm awake. It's a different time, it's a different age, and these devil worshippers, these Illuminati, Luciferians, they're think tanks. They're not stupid people. They just kind of study and perfect what Christianity is all about, and then they use that to deceive people by replacing certain aspects of the word with things that fit their agenda.
What if I were to tell you, caller, that the Illuminati follows the King James Bible? I mean, they use the King James Bible as their script, if you will. I mean,
I would agree with you.
Okay.
I know that there's a King James version. There's a couple different ones, and pretty much like the Schofield Bible. That's different. It's but like I told you guys before, they infiltrated every aspect of our lives.
No, they have, and this is something that I think we can get so wrapped up in the minutia of the doctrinal minutia, and even to the point of picking out selected things with the Catholic Church or with the Mormon Church. That's all fine, well, and good, and I would urge everyone to do their own research on that. In the case that we're looking at here, and I think the point that you brought up, which I really have to agree with and drive home, is that this is just like politics. This transcends politics. This transcends all religions. This is, we are fighting such an evil entity here in this New World Order, in this Illuminati Luciferian agenda, that we have to use so much discernment. But you're right. I mean, and believe me, I look. I went to a Catholic seminary, graduated from a Catholic seminary, did not become a priest, but I was raised Catholic, and no meat on Friday. Same thing. Mass every day. I understand, and I also understand the dark side of that too. But it's not to indict an entire, the entire church, and that's to be certain. But wow, you said a mouthful, Gary. You really did. But going back to the original intent of the call, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to set something up to help you. And congratulations for moving to Pennsylvania, by the way. What? And I have to ask this: what caused you to move out of New York?
The Bloomberg was pulling the trigger for. I've been here my whole life, and I've been getting sick of his little insecure, authoritative tyrant self. And then Cuomo with his little, "You don't need 10 bullets to kill a deer." I mean, that was the icing on the cake, and I'm just sick of it. And I got to stay close to here because of work and stuff. And
right.
I talked to Sheriff Mack on the phone about, from Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association, to talk to the sheriff of the 3 counties possible that I might move into. I want to make sure I'm moving into a county where the sheriff isn't, on the wrong side.
Right. That's important to do.
I have my wife has some family out there, so it would make it a little bit easier of a transition. But I don't care. I mean, I'll go anywhere, because I'm not fearful. I mean, I'm scared in the sense where, I know the evil that exists out there, but I'm down for whatever, and I'm relentless, and nothing is going to stop me. I'm a go-getter. I'm going to do what I got to do to survive.
Well, especially with the baby coming along, you've got an awesome responsibility there, and it sounds like you're rising up to take care of that responsibility, and for that I congratulate you. And certainly, getting out of New York State, if more people would do that, perhaps the message would get across. But I guess I really don't even believe that myself, because they're going to be tyrannical, forever. Given the
breaks
people.
My heart, Doug.
Oh yeah.
It breaks my heart. I mean, I thought I was going to live and die here, and it's gotten so out of control with the NYPD. I told you guys about the illegal raid of my apartment.
Yeah.
When the EBT cards run out.
Did that?
This official is telling me I can't defend my family.
Did you come out of the apartment raid okay?
It depends on what you say. Okay, I mean they roughed me up a little bit, but if you remember, I told you they altered my court date after the New York State statute for me to open up a civil case.
Right. Okay.
So the judge laughed at the DA. At the court hearing, she was like, "You got to be kidding me that you guys did this to this poor guy," and they threw the case out. So I didn't have charges, but the fact that I couldn't sue them,
right,
that kind of pissed me off and pissed my lawyer off, because they purposely put it more than 90 days after the date of arrest. So it was.
Yeah, and if
I still don't know what it was for. I don't know if it was for my my political beliefs. I'm a pretty active person, and I don't hold back. I mean, I don't talk about the truth. I don't stand on the corner and talk about it, but I'm not scared if somebody asks me about it. I don't know if it was going on InfoWars. Nowadays, I can't even tell you, Doug.
Yeah,
they were there.
And if I recall the circumstances of the incident correctly, it was really a bizarre situation that you had no indication of anything, and they came and went, no charges, no nothing, and it was just see, people look. I've heard from other people across the country where this has happened to, not just in New York but other parts of the country. There doesn't seem to be any type of common element here that I could put my finger on I could say to you that your impromptu raid, if you will. I'm not sure that would probably it's probably not the correct statement, or a correct description, but I don't know what would cause that, Gary, but the fact is that no charges were filed, and I understand this too because I've heard this from other people, that the adjustment of the court date so you cannot file civil suit for wrongful under color of authority. It happens frequently. So people have to understand it's a changed world today than it was even 10 years ago.
It's crazy. I mean, I thought at first I was praying to God so hard when they threw me in the back of this red van with Jersey plates, and I said, this has got to be federal because they don't, there's not New York plates on the van they're putting me in.
Right.
And I said, this is crazy. This is because I'm a Ron Paul supporter. I said, I can't. I said, I was just praying to God, please don't let anything happen to me. I didn't know where I was going, and then luckily when they stopped the van, I got out and I was in the Bronx at one of the precincts. But I just looked up to the sky. I said, all right, you know what? I'll take this. At least it's not some federal, Men in Black type of harassment that I'm going to go through right now. But it was just to put me through the system. They didn't have any answers for me. They treated me very, very, disrespectfully, and got me in trouble with my landlord. He was pissed. Obviously, he didn't, because they made me call him, and then when I called him to ask him to come lock the door for them, they hung up on him. So it was just it was just an invasion of my privacy. They were asking me why my apartment was so clean, and I'm like, is that against the Constitution for me to have a clean apartment, guys? I was in the middle of vacuuming when you kicked down my door practically. It was just a unique experience. That was one of the main reasons, but I just got to get out of here. This place is not safe, and it kills me because, this is me.
Right. I hear you, caller, and
yeah, it's a different world, Gary. It really is, and look, I do know that there are, and people might not believe this. People might be listening to this program and saying, "What's this guy talking about? What's he? Nobody comes. The police don't come to your house and take you away for nothing. There's got to be something." Well, the bottom line is, it could be something as simple as an anonymous complaint by someone who. And I've seen this happen, but the bottom line is, at the end, here you are, basically pushed out. Sorry, whoops, no charges, no nothing. Why'd you do it? Well, that's we don't have to tell you that. It does happen today. It's not frequent, but it's increasing in frequency. So for those people who don't think it can happen to you, it can happen. I mean, even Jason, the gentleman that calls, that happened to Jason as well, and it was because of something he said on a radio show. So you just don't know. But Gary, appreciate the call, my friend. We got to cut you loose.
All right, God bless you guys.
All right, man. And hey, from Maspeth, you know where Maspeth is, right? In the 5 boroughs there?
Yes.
All right. Do me a favor. FedEx me a pizza from Joey's, the margarita pizza from Joey's out of Maspeth.
Yeah, and I'll take a pepperoni and sausage.
Yeah. Just kidding, my friend. Have a good night. God bless.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
All right. Wow. Yeah, and folks, things like this do happen, where there are raids. And when I say raids, I'm not talking about the full SWAT, military, paramilitary, bust through windows, Christmas vacation style, raids. But there are antagonistic type things that do happen, and it's they're happening more and more.
Yeah, so, you're right. They are happening more and more.
And I just want to say one more thing too, to the people who are really causing some issues coming into our chat room. You know what? This is our house, and we have a chat room because we want to extend the ability to our listeners to interact. And by coming into the chat room and having these very vile names and vile messages, we understand. Look, we have your IP addresses. Okay, we do. We've got them. But can we just appeal to you, to your common decency, just not to do that, not to disrupt our program?
Oh, they're not disrupting the program.
Or disrupting the interaction.
The interactive chat, but the people in there, they know.
They know
the distractions. They know the evil that is going to come, and the more effective, whether we're becoming more effective or not, the more they'll pour in. Pastor Begley, I know, goes through a lot of this with phone calls, with his chat room.
Sure.
He's battled through it, and he's been a tremendous inspiration in doing so. Not getting angry, he's cool, he's doing anything.
He is something that something of an example that we can use. But folks, on Sunday, don't forget Sunday, 9 to midnight. Steve Quayle, Greg Evenson. Greg Evenson is going to have additional information that you have not heard. Important information, and also tomorrow, Joe and I are going to be guests on Dr. Elizabeth Malky's Blog Talk Radio program, and we're going to be unplugged and let our hair down and just be ourselves on that show.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
And I would urge everyone to as well, if you are interested in the more intense discussion about mind control. Like, I don't get paid. In fact, I've never spoken directly to Gary Bell, but after listening to him and getting the information down, if you have the opportunity, drop him an email, send him, tell him you heard about A View from Space from the Hagmann Report. But more importantly, take a listen to his program Saturday, 6:40 a.m. Toronto. I think it's 11 o'clock p.m. is when it starts, but it's available on the internet. You can listen live. That's about mind control, and then this week is the second part of a series. I know that it's off. It's kind of. It seems like it might be a little bit in left field, but it does fit in with what we're talking about. It does fit in with it. It answers some questions. He answers questions and addresses specific issues that we touch on the periphery here. So it's important to do that.
Yeah, and we're really going to get some answers from Greg Evenson, who has lots of inside connections with law enforcement as to what they think, what their sentiment is about these military drills being conducted over American soil, with the militarization of the local, federal, and state authorities, the mergers of, or the expulsions of sheriff's department, and the mergers of, local police under control of DHS, and these are all things that are coming and are here. Just we haven't seen it yet. There will be an American police force. There won't be local police. It'll be filled with international people, the UN, other countries. And if you go read through some of the PDFs we've been talking about, that will be up on the site if they're not already.
No, there will be. There's going to be. Joe, thank you very much for reminding me of that. We're going to be opening the reading room as soon as I can upload all of the PDFs to our server.
Yeah, and you read in there. And they state the U.S. government in times of what they say are a crisis. It could be anything from a economic crisis to a attack on a city, but they can shut down the whole United States and under international law have peacekeeping international troops.
Right.
And they have places to put us. And us could be a displaced citizen. You could be an extremist. You could be a terrorist. I mean, they have lots of different definitions. And some of them break down different issues of civilians. So it is for us. And all the plans are laid out. All the legislation has been passed. NDAA, Enemy Expatriation Act.
90 seconds.
Federal Emergency Centers Act.
The groundwork's laid, folks.
Right. And they're moving. and they're moving fast. We need to find the Lord. We need to see what He wants us to do in these times, how we can be effective, and that's our only goal, and that's the most important thing for us, each and every one of us individually, is to stay in the Word of the Lord and only listen to Him, and that's the best we can do.
Right on, man. Hey, look, I want to thank everyone for spending your Friday night with us.
60 seconds.
Live. And I want to say thank you very much for your belief and trust in us as we walk through this very treacherous field of information together. It's very rough it's becoming increasingly difficult to know what to believe, who to believe, and how to apply what we learn to everyday life. But trust in God, like Joe says and we say. Use your discernment, and let's work together.
Yeah,
let's work together.
You guys have a good weekend. We'll see you Sunday night for those of you who will be joining us. And God bless you all, and stay safe.
Good night.